Okay, I'm gonna start because there's only I got two, and they're both Elysium because Elysium came out this month. We had 4 songs. They were Elysium, 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 and Elysium, and then I think 3 other songs came out, but they don't matter. I think they were Party and what were the other 2?
Hello, welcome to the Almost Perfect Cast.
I'm Zephyr.
And Eesa.
And I'm Word, or Drew.
So today we're a little worn out, guys, aren't we? This is we just had 3 consecutive song drops, 3 weeks apart in a row. We all went to and ran a big giant tournament. We've been just back-to-back breakneck stuff going on in our lives. Easa's been doing a lot of traveling. I've been doing a lot of travel. A lot of stuff is going on in my personal life, some of which I'm happy to talk about in outside of a podcast, and some of which I can't talk about right now. But I've been super duper busy. And Word, you've been super busy. The devs, they've been super busy. So this month we're talking about burnout. Because I think I'm not the only one hitting a wall. I think the only one not hitting a wall is standing right next to me here. So yeah, that's our main topic today. But first, stuff happens. This is a podcast. It's a fan podcast about StepManiaX. So we should talk about the game a little bit, right? To start off, maybe some current news.
A little bit.
Some things have happened. The location thing, is that new? I don't know. It's only been 3 weeks.
So it's still available on the web version. We're currently going through testing for getting it into the app. Pretty much, I think it's working fine. So you should be seeing that in the app imminently.
Yeah. Tournaments coming up. Eclipse East is happening on December 8th. That's going to have a StepManiaX tournament in it. It's got other dance games. I can't tell you what they are off the top of my head. B-Hop Ball, that's going to have SMX and ITG. ITG Tech to be specific, DDR-X Pro, and Puppet Up XX or 20. I'm not sure. That's just a week later, December 15th. A lot of stuff going on in December. And then February 23rd, that's a ways out, Winter Ball. That's got a lot of people interested in it. And that is, is that just SMX? Do we know if Winter Ball is SMX only?
Winter Ball.
Find out from Maestro G.
Let me see.
We got a while to find out. At least one more drop.
There will be multiple SMX events on their deluxe machine. Hard Gauntlet,
Yes.
Wild, Women's events, and maybe more.
I've still never played on a deluxe machine.
It's all right. When you step up...
I have not played on a DX machine, but I keep hearing the only thing I'm missing out is being able to increase your scroll rate and play it at slightly better precision.
Yeah, basically you step up to the screen to choose your song and you just get blasted by the speakers that are right at ear level, right in your face, and you go deaf. And the big, huge bars on the entire sides flash like strobe lights, so you're going to be blinded. And yeah, I don't know. It's not something I would like to play as my regular StepManiaX machine. But it's
maybe
cool.
You could get just the screen on its own.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I could fit that in this room. We could. It'd be a great piece. Although, where would you put your webcam? You'd have to put it even farther away to be able to see around. Yeah, it'd be kind of a nightmare. You'd basically be off on the side or helicopter view overhead. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to think about that for tournaments. Yeah. But
yeah, I don't know. It's definitely quite a different experience. It just feels different playing, the whole atmosphere around as you're playing. It's just different. So if it was going to be in a tournament, I would hope that there would be multiple of the same cabinet version.
Yeah. Let's see. Other news. Hey, you gave us an outline. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have a new Discord server for the Almost Perfect cast. So I posted that link in the chat. If you're not already in there, then I don't know how you're watching this, but you should definitely join because the old Discord server will probably just do it into archive mode. So nothing new.
Yeah. Under the Branch was a YouTube channel me and my roommate started like 7 years ago. We haven't done anything with it in 2 years ago. It's really much more of like a community Discord for a different game. And so it like never really fit the Almost Perfect cast super well. It was something I just started it as a category because I didn't feel like starting a new server and just never got around to starting a new server. So this month I finally did. And with the help of a couple people, it's nice and tidy and it's organized. And it's exactly like the old server, like from your view perspective for the most part, other than it's named what you think it's going to be named. And we could use a better icon, but that's what I whipped up in about half an hour. So, yeah, speaking of us news, we're going to go to a static schedule. We're going to figure out exactly what it is and announce it, but we're going to be on the same like fourth Friday or last Friday or fourth Thursday or last Thursday of every month. This, in keeping with today's episode title, we're a little burnt out on making some episodes. So we're going to switch to a once a month format. And if there's no song drop that month, we just don't do an episode. So we'll just take those months off. But there's almost always at least one a month. But
I mean, to our credit, there's been 3 song drops in the last 2 months. So they're making it
every 3 weeks. Well, every 20 days.
It's been 20 days in between the 3 drops.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll get back to that because that's our main topic. Okay, so I'm getting burnt out on my doorbell. Every delivery person has to ring it. So what's next on our show notes?
Do you want to talk about the Red Note thing?
Yeah, somebody was there. What happened at Red Note?
The party last night?
Yeah.
Well, we had a Thanksgiving, Gamersgiving from 8 to 8, but I only stayed until like 12:30. I'm old. I need sleep. But there was a bunch of Thanksgiving food. It was delicious. We watched, some of us watched KAC. I guess I didn't see it because I guess it was over in like 20 minutes and they played like 4 songs.
How do you have a 20-minute tournament? That's like your big grand tournament.
So, I don't know. Konami, we already saw that they didn't know how to throw a tournament, and yeah, they didn't, okay?
Konami, there are dozens of TOs that you could have just tapped on the shoulder and been like, could you run this tournament for us? We'll pay you like enough to fly out here, run the event, and fly home. Write us a rule set. Do what me and Jelly Slosh and MCAT and Maestro do, and that's just in this game. Like, there's like 4 people in this game that do that already. Like, DDR has like 30 of those people, any one of them in the United States, and another 30 in Japan. Like, just talk to one of them.
But, so sorry if it was anticlimactic, but hopefully the players still had fun. I think Oshima and Po won, so congrats to them. And, and Jen, who works at the arcade and was helping run the Gamersgiving thing, I know that she didn't get home until like 8 a.m. She was there until the last people left. So some people really did stay until 8 a.m. And now she's working today.
So wait. So you drove here just for this event, right?
Well, to hang out with people since Thanksgiving, my store's closed and that's my only day I work on my week off. Like almost all my days off are in a row. I just have like one Thursday thrown in there. So I had a week off. So it's Vegas time, Vegas road trip time.
Catherine says that CAC is always 20 or is always really short and it's just like a little side event. But why is that your championship event?
Well, yeah, kind of because Konami just doesn't care about DDR anyway. They just care about like 2DX, whatever.
Okay. I disagree, but I don't even like DDR.
What? There was a Bimani
care
Pro
about your game.
There's been a Bimani Pro League for 2DX for forever, and it's like long as heck. And then they like finally made a DDR one this year, and it was okay, but still way shorter. Like they just care about 2DX. They make a new 2DX every year. Yeah, they care about 2DX and nothing else.
Yeah, they're on version 30 something, 30, 31, right? I don't know.
But we're getting teased some big tournament thing from Kyle Ward. Like he said it in Facebook messages
Kyle
and stuff.
teased a tournament thing.
Yeah,
so we're gonna.
And I keep hearing through the grapevine like there's a thing coming down the pipe. But I first heard about this thing coming down the pipe like a year ago, so it could be a while still. You know, like edits took 2 years to develop.
I haven't heard anything.
It could be another year. It could be features. It could be an event. Nothing in that regard has been announced. I've heard rumors, and I'm not going to report on those rumors because I've heard them from very close people.
We're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah.
So I also want to talk about, we had the first unofficial community bounties happening. So we had
I know. I saw that and I told Jen as soon as I saw it, I was like, Jen, oh my God. Steve Snowman, APC'd Galactical Full. I didn't even know this was possible. I can't believe he got that.
Yeah, the full plus hands. 23. He got the APC doing the hands down on his all fours. So yeah, the player AED in the StepManiaX Discord put up a bounty, a $25 bounty for the first APC on that on the 20th of this month, and then Steve he claimed the bounty in less than 2 days. So we'll post a link to that in the show notes. I'll try to get a link up here shortly, but yeah, definitely give Steve some shout outs. Go watch the video. It's pretty cool. And then we have another bounty that's currently active that has not been claimed yet. I can't remember if it was water salads, I think. He put up $25 for the first Hex Star on 403 full. And I said I would match that.
Oh my God.
So we're at $50.
That is so impossible.
Maybe after they update the chart, when they upload the Scooby out of it, or is it a spin that's in it currently?
It's a spin. In the last 16th stream, there's an accidental spin.
Yeah, I just remember this Japanese player posted that part, and he was like, question mark, question mark, question mark.
All right, I put the link in the chat. But yeah, so that's the current bounty that's active. If anybody feels like putting up their own bounty, I'm sure the community would love that. It has to kind of be something that hasn't happened yet. I mean, if it's something that someone's already done.
But not with hands, correct? Dante hadn't done it with hands?
That was the first APC ever. It's only been APC'd once.
Yeah, it's the first one.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of people got one, I think, or a few people got one perfect, but that was the first APC. Yep, that's all I want to talk about for that.
All right, main topic. Hey, you started taking notes here. Oh, wait, not main topic, song drop. That's right. That's why we do that's how we've been tying the show to the topic every month is we do the song drop in the middle. Or rather, that's our schedule.
We'll tell you all about it right after this segue to our new content.
Hey, I'm going to start because there's only, I've got two. And they're both Elysium. Because Elysium came out this month. We had 4 songs. They were Elysium, 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 and Elysium. And then I think 3 other songs came out, but, they don't matter. I think they were Party and, what were the other 2?
Bleep Bloop.
Party I remember because it's obnoxious. Bleep Bloop, yeah.
And Supernova.
And Supernova, yeah, the Linus Tech Tip song. But the 2 I want to talk about are Supernova Hard, because it's a really fun, it feels like an ITG song from back in the day that's just really stamina intensive for somebody at the top of the hard difficulty. And I just loved it. I loved how simple and straightforward it was. To find out that Kyle Ward wrote all those charts makes total perfect sense to me, because they are just very just rudimentary together, like just by the books, and really satisfying to play. A lot of people think, and I'll agree, that it should be an 18 just off of like the stamina check it has, because that's going to make somebody tired who's getting like nobody who's like barely huffing and puffing through most 17s. And I have a lot of friends who are at that because they play casually and they only play about once a month. They're going to play that and it's going to destroy them. Just like they're going to be huffing and puffing at the end of that. But it's really fun. And then speaking of really fun Elysium charts, the full 21 is just bananas fun. Those momentum switches, like I don't know what they're officially called. That's what I call them, where you have to do a switch like as you're coming across, are just so good. I love them to death. The step jumps at the end, I can leave them. The momentum switches, like funnest thing to do in the game. Might have damaged my knee playing them.
My favorites was Supernova Full 23, but I also say not a 23. It's kind of easy, but it's really fun and chill foot switches, then just really fun streams.
It's a 23.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's perfect 23. It's like, it's right up there with like We Do This Dance.
No, but Show You Love.
Should be a 24.
Okay. Whatever. Anyway. But I just love that song so much too. But when I saw Laszlo, I didn't know there was a band that named themselves that. I was thinking, oh my God, Ken Laszlo. Did anyone else used to listen to those super old school songs? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think if we're talking like the range of a 23, I think the top is like Evan Polkin, Time is Ticking.
Yes, Evan Polka. See, 23s are harder than that.
That's about where that is for me. And then like what was our other 20? Bleep Bloop is about that hard. So like I feel like Supernova's at near the bottom of a 23 and Bleep Bloop's near the top of a 23.
Bleep Bloop was kind of easy too, but I put that on my list as my next song that I really loved. The full 23.
Listen to this girl.
But I think it's harder than Supernova.
These songs are so easy. I'm Eesa.
It had really fun foot switches and runs, and then there's this really fun twisty eighth note run. And you like really have to do the twist too because they put bombs in there. Yeah, I approve of the full chart. And the wild chart. That's my other pick. Bleep Bloop Wild. It was a really tricky because sometimes you do foot switches and sometimes you don't. And you just have to make sure you're paying attention to the bombs and doing the right thing. And also there's a lot of hard runs with the middle arrow and also like a run where you have to do like little jacks in the middle.
That's the one that actually probably messed up my knee. It was really fun. I'm only ever playing it the one time.
Well, I told Bobby I love jacks, so I don't know if that was for me. Thanks.
Yeah, I looked at that. I asked Bobby, like, it was either you or Mandoodles. Which one of you was it? He's like, it's me. I did that one.
Yep. So those are my favorites of the drop.
I just had a couple that I just wanted to mention. So the Elysium, the full 15, I think it's a really good chart. I really enjoyed playing it when I played it a few times. I don't really tend to like those lower rated ones, but that one just, I don't know, felt fun to play. I think it kind of pushes, it kind of pushes the limit of what a 15 might be. So it kind of felt closer to maybe like a 16 or something, but just regardless, I thought it was really fun. And then the other one was, I think it was Bleep Bloop, the like 18 or whatever.
That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. The full mode 18. It's just really good. It just made me like really like big goofy smile on my face as I was playing it.
Oh, there's another one that was really good. Oh, I've got one more to highlight. It was Party Full 19. That song is so terrible, but that chart is just like that is like a Perks level, like Everybody to the Sun level. It is just one of those like super fun. Just about anybody who plays this game seriously can play this, and just it's an easy chart and it's a blast.
Yeah.
Every time that song starts, I just start laughing. I
can't believe it's in the game.
It's just so silly. I can't help it.
Nobody knows where that song came from either. Like, it's just a random song. Like it doesn't exist anywhere outside of StepManiaX and just itself.
It's probably a song that a songwriter tried to sell to somebody and they could never get it made, and so they just produced it themselves. And like Kyle just picked it up from whoever made it. Is what I'm gonna guess. Like that's my headcanon at this point until we hear officially otherwise.
Yep. That's all I had. I didn't really have anything else to talk about. I liked
right.
the bleep bloop, the full mode, or not the full, the bleep bloop wild. I thought it wasn't my favorite, like Wild 24, but it had some good things going through it. The only thing I just thought it didn't like flow into each from one tech to the other tech as well as some of the other.
Well, I like it that way because it's tricky. You gotta get good to do it right. But Mandoto also already made an edit of Bleep Bloop. He rated like a 25, I think. But I think it's easier than the 24 easier. Just since it's like more straightforward and it's just like foot switches, only foot switches.
Oh yeah. I was talking to him about it. I said like the actual like foot switches themselves are harder, but it only really focuses on like one or two techniques instead of like the official wild chart has like every technique you can imagine all in the chart. And that's why I thought that it didn't flow as well, because you're always like constantly changing what kind of tech it's focused on.
I don't know. Those are like some of my kind of tech charts, like my favorites when there's a little bit of everything.
Yep. And that's why there's like, 410 songs in the game. So everyone can have something that they prefer.
Yeah, we're approaching that 420 quick, aren't we?
Pretty soon.
Okay.
Edits.
Party time.
There's got to be an edit you want to talk about.
There's not that many edits that I played.
It's only been 3 weeks.
I already said the Mandoto one. And then, but I mean, yeah, it's only been 3 weeks. But I did play one, and Word played it too, I saw. Temple of Love, Duel 23, It's Only Dano. I always like It's Only Dano's charts. He makes good ones. But that had like a lot of fast, hard runs. Love to see it. A real high rated duel, and it's worth that rating. It's hard. It was fun and fair though, and it had some little techie stuff thrown in also. And then my other favorite one, this was my favorite edit that I played, was On My Own from Hints at 23. Just one pad. It is so hard and tricky, lots of brackets and like runs with brackets, and it's just so fast. I mean, that song's so fast. But it's so fun. If you want to get good at brackets and going fast, you can play some On My Own edit.
I got a couple I'll just mention real quick. There's a single, a 20 for the song Elysium. It was stepped by the player Emerald. It's like a really fun kind of mostly like eighth notes stuff, but just really good patterns, and it's just kind of steady throughout the whole song or the whole chart. Mostly just eighth note streams, but it's really just fun with all the different patterns that show up. And then there's two more. The next one was an edit for Never Ending Story. It was a single 22 chart by the player Freya. It just had really, really good center panel usage. Like it reminded me of some of those like one of the Bass Monkeys song, whatever it's called. But just really good like patterns that go into the center panel and kind of focus on the center panel usage. So that's a really good one. I really liked that one. And the last one was an edit for the song Lucky Star. It was a single 21 by the player Maui DDR. Just overall, just a really, really good, fun, just kind of not too difficult, but just really good. But yeah, really good. That's all.
All right. Main topic, burnout. And I think we had different concepts of what we meant by burnout. I think you meant like, you interpreted that as like physical burnout, like being exhausted within a single set. And I had meant it as just.
I meant I meant like overarching, like.
Okay, you did. Okay.
Yeah, Like, well, there's like physical, like you're burnout, like if you've been playing every day for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks straight and you need to give yourself a break. But there's also burnout just like over the course of like months and like maybe even a whole year where you've just been kind of doing the same thing over and over, and you just kind of get to a point where it's not as enjoyable as it should be. There's different things.
I got you to summarize the whole main topic. Excellent. Okay. I just misunderstood your notes. Cool. So yeah. Tell me about the physical one first, because I hadn't even thought about like conceptualizing that as a part of burnout. And now I'm really curious. So you're saying like that exhaustion you can build up over time, like you say have a minor injury that like compounds over time because you keep playing on it, or you're the kind of person who plays every day and you're just not letting yourself rest and you just start to feel weary from it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like if you're. So I'm kind of thinking kind of from the viewpoint of like weightlifting or something like that, like training for a certain thing, like a training for like a marathon maybe or something. But as you progress through the weeks and stuff, and you start getting to where you're doing harder stuff, like eventually you need to take a decent break and just let your whole entire body and system like resolve all this fatigue that builds up over time. Because you can get fatigue like in your legs, and then if you take like a day off, they'll recover and then you can play again. But there's just physical and also just mental things that build up over the course of weeks and months. In the like weightlifting community, that's basically where you have your build up, and you just kind of progress and do like a little more each week. But then eventually you have to take like a whole week and just, it's like a reset, lets your body fatigue go away. So that's kind of where I'm kind of focused on as far as the burnout.
I had never considered that, but yeah, it makes perfect sense to me, and no one's ever expressed that yeah, you have things that take longer than a couple days to recover, and they build up and they build up. And yeah, you have to let that go. It's almost like anything you have to take a break from with your body. Every now and then you have to stop taking caffeine or any other kind of, like if you drink alcohol regularly, you need to stop that for a while. THC, some of us do. You might have to take a break from that a couple times a year. You need to just let your body reset and refresh on it. And grueling exercise on parts of your body, that makes sense. Like we're destroying these muscles. We're like burning in like the neural pathways that train our minds to do this. So it makes just as much sense to say like, hey, take a break from all of the strains that you're putting on all of your ligaments and joints, and say like, hey, once a year, take a few weeks in a row off. And hey, my body forces me to do that every now and then. Maybe I should just do that preemptively, because right now I'm sitting off some kind of hyperextension on a ligament or tendon from just a week ago. On this last song drop, I was just really going ham, having fun on playing those full pluses. And I might get to play teams with Eesa after we record this. Maybe. I'm going to see how I feel after standing for an hour.
Yeah.
I think it's something I see stamina players talk about for sure. They just push themselves so hard for so long, hours and hours at a time, like no breaks. But I don't know. Usually I don't have to take any breaks.
Yeah, Easa's a machine. She's built different. She's got the most ADHD and the body that just does not stop.
Yeah, so basically like a way to recognize is if you're progressing pretty well for several weeks or months or whatever, and then you start hitting a plateau to where you just, once you start playing a session, you feel like you're getting tired a lot sooner than you think you should be, or you're not progressing as far as like getting better scores on the same kind of stuff that you've been working on. Like there's a lot of different ways to kind of recognize when it's might be time to take a break. I think the biggest ones are just feeling that fatigue, even though you might be fully rested and you've been eating well and been having not as much stress. And if you're just not able to put out the same kind of output that you think you should be, That's probably a good sign that it's time to take a break, a slightly extended break, more than like a couple days.
Oh, I mean, I guess I do have days like that where I'm like, I'm so tired, but I still play anyway, just like easier stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I still got some in.
Yeah,
That like it's like, oh well, just to have a hard session today. I like getting 99s on hearts. It's my new fun thing to do. And like whenever I've been just down for one reason or another, I've been like on an injury or like off of COVID because I got COVID twice. Recently in the last once from mid-October, once from just visiting friends. It was tough. But I was like, well, hard mode gets me through the tough times. I don't need to take a break. Not me, because then my mindset is I'm going to come back and I'm not going to be as strong because I completely stopped and I became sedentary for that time. I worry about am I going to gain 5 pounds, which doesn't hurt me, but that's 5 pounds I'm going to have to then lose. It's something that's going to slow me down until I do. It's, I consider myself to have like a baseline weight that I naturally regress back to at whatever level of exercise I'm active at, tends to be how my body works. But I still, if I bump up, it's just uncomfortable for me, and having to get back to that equilibrium. So if I can just like push through physically and also get all the fun of playing the game and getting the endorphin rush. But yeah, I mean, taking a break would be good because sometimes it is like oh gosh, I just got home from work and I'm tired because I'm just tired. And then like, well, I haven't played in 3 days and I'm not going to get to play again for another like 2 or 3 days. I gotta, maybe I could just take a week off every now and then.
Yeah.
That's a hard pill to swallow, but
Sometimes, it's kind of like a self-discipline thing as well. So like Jay Kerr's in the chat, he's been talking about how he doesn't really get burned out physically, but he gets burned out mentally. So that's another aspect where if you're hyper focused on the same goals for like a really long time, you can start to get burned out when you're not seeing the results coming as quickly as they used to, which inevitably happens. There's always diminishing returns. It takes longer and longer, and it's harder and harder to get those performance gains once you start getting up to the higher levels, especially. But yeah, like things like getting mad at yourself, getting tilted, just getting upset easier. Those are some of the signs to where you might be just getting fatigued mentally and need to take a break from the game for about a week or so.
Yeah, I've done it just chasing a certain goal for too long. Like I'll have set a goal, like I want to get this score on this folder, and realizing like, oh, that's all I've been doing besides playing song drops for like, 3 months. Maybe it's time to switch to a different mode and a different style of play. And that's a lot of what I have to do is like realize, oh, I need to do something different. I'll do it like macro. I'll say, oh, hey, I'm really getting tired of just playing hard. And getting 99s, I need to get back into like full 20s because that's a really fun sweet spot, 20s to 22s. Whereas on a like a daily basis, I might get tired of grinding a single song, and I might decide, okay, I have to just switch out to something. But that's a little bit different than what we're talking about, right? Like we're talking about like you said, I've been doing this thing. I've been going through dual. Like whenever you decide to sight read a new mode. I did it with hard. I did it with dual. I did it with wild. There was a point where I was like, another session where I just log in and play every song once and feel terrible if I don't, and have to decide, do I play it again? And also it feels like it drags on forever before I even get through the song wheel because there's so many songs in the game.
Yep. Definitely, I think the biggest kind of definition of burnout that we could probably just encompass everything together is if you're not having as much enjoyment as you want. So some ways that I personally deal with it. It's in the past few years, it's been happening more often. I think that's somewhat normal once you're starting to do the same like activity or hobby or whatever for years and years without really taking large amounts of time off. I think it's somewhat normal. So some of what I've been doing, like especially like practicing up a lot for like the tournament, like the Red October, it just kind of gets you to where once that tournament's done and you're back to just you can do whatever you want. I've just been kind of taking it a little more easy. I switched all my stuff over to played Rhythm Horizon basically for like 2 weeks. Didn't really play StepManiaX at all. I just played a little bit of the Wild when the new song drop. One of them came out. But I think some ways that I personally deal with it is I just take more days off. That's the biggest thing. And then switch over to playing a different game definitely helps a lot. And just basically feeling okay not playing the game as much as I was leading up to it. And then eventually, you know, within a week or two, usually I get to where I just really want to come back and play the game again. So that's kind of the biggest thing. And then focusing on different goals is also another way. So like I used to be really, really hard into just doing full mode only. And then eventually you just kind of get tired of doing the same thing over and over. So that's kind of when I went back and did a lot more wild, especially leading up to the tournament. So that helped a lot. Just switching the goals that I'm having and my focus to something else.
Yeah. And I don't know, burnout still isn't a problem for me. I mean, I think some of it's just personality or mindset. Like for me, I just appreciate doing exercise that's fun, first of all. Like, I just love it just for exercise. But I do have I focus on a lot of different things. I don't really grind like ever. If I get an APC, that's cool. But like the most I ever play an easy song is like 4 times. After that, I'm like, moving on. But it's like I play singles, I play doubles. I'm training for an ITG tournament right now.
Addicted to the stimulation.
I go in between one or the other. And I mean, some days I get nothing or I'm tired and I'm just like, whatever, we're just playing to exercise. Just throw yourself against the wall. It's fine. I mean, so I just don't let it get to me. If I don't improve, it's okay. Like any play is still good play. It's still exercise and it's still training your body to work harder.
Yep. Yeah, for me, eventually it comes down to being okay just playing the game in the way that is most enjoyable to me. That might not necessarily be like working towards any specific goals or anything. It's okay to just play for the exercise or for the enjoyment. And eventually,
yeah, but I do set I try to set yearly goals, and they're just big overarching themes. Like I wanted to get so many APCs. I wanted to get so many new 23 6-stars or 24 6-stars, or at least 92K on 25s and 26s. I set different goals for all sorts of levels so that there's always something that I could work on if I'm tired of something and want to move to something else. And I completed all my goals a long time ago for this year. Time to get some new ones for next year.
Yep.
So, what else can you get burnt out on this game? How about writing charts? That's something anyone can do now. It's not just a Step Revolution contributor that can do that now. Your name can be It's Only Dano or Lazy or one of another dozen people. JJK, does he still make official charts? I don't remember.
I don't know, but he made an edit recently that people are playing. But he likes stamina, so it's all stamina, so I didn't play it.
But yeah, lots of people now. You could fall into just making charts and deciding I'm going to make one every day or every week even, and realize this is getting grueling and this is getting exhausting. I suspect with the breakneck rate of song drops we've been getting and 10 songs or 10 charts a song, somebody at Step Revolution is feeling a little bit. And hey, as a fan, we can say, you don't have to do the content so fast. You don't even have to do 4 songs a month. We got 410 songs in the game. we get it. You want to add a lot. We have lots of suggestions. We want all the songs in the world in the game, but we've got so much to play. This game is so huge already. Like, don't rush to make it gigantic. The quality that is coming out is so fantastic. You don't have to speed things up at all. We want, like, the things we want more right now are features and like merch. Like, we want stuff that's outside of the content right now. Not to criticize, the developers very much, because they know what's getting people to put quarters into machines, so to speak, and what's getting arcade cabinets ordered, and what they know what arcade owners are asking for. But I know what we're asking for as players, and it's mostly like things that get developed, not things that get produced. Some of us in us making a podcast, we've decided to move our format over to once a month, so that we're not necessarily doing this every 3 weeks, and so it can fit neatly into our lives, so we can schedule it and say, this is when I do the podcast. So when someone asks us, hey, what are you doing on this day, we know, like, I'm doing a podcast that day 3 months out, unless like a guest comes through and says, like, I can't do that day. But we're going to try to make even guests follow that if we can. We're making this fit into our lives better. And that's one of the things you can do to prevent burnout, is have a consistent schedule when you play your game. There, I tied it back in.
Yeah.
Go me.
Yeah, like planning things out can help. That way, it can also be like a double-edged sword, because if you have something planned and it feels like an obligation, that can be hard. That can be like, get home from work and be like, oh, now I have to force myself to play. So just be careful. Just remember, it can go both ways. Planning can help you. It can also hurt, depending on how you go about it.
Or playing with friends. That can help with burnout too.
Yeah, team mode.
You can do a little online competing, or get friends over,
or
introduce friends to it.
It is fun to engage with the game in ways where you're not playing it. If you're burning out on just playing it, we socialize a lot. We talk to each other. We're very chatty. By nature of, if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably interested in and some kind of dialogue about this game. But I think most people are. Most people want to talk about their hobbies to someone. And if you're doing it in isolation, you're probably having less fun with it than if you're getting to talk to somebody else who does that same hobby. Knitting circles are really popular. There aren't a lot of people that just knit on their own.
Yeah.
Is that a bad analogy? That might not be true.
I think just talking about it with other people that you're comfortable with in the community can help too. So we've seen a little bit of that here and there, like in the Discord, just specifically, just people talking about how they're just not feeling it as much, and other people will usually chime in and just give support and just say, like, yeah, it's okay. We all feel that sometimes. So I think just being open about it helps a lot, especially with the mental side.
All right. Well, I'm tired of podcasting. Are you guys tired of podcasting? Feeling a little burnt out. Want to play some team mode.
I'm ready to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
maximize your enjoyment.
Yeah. Sorry, Aerosmith, you're gonna have to go back and look at the VOD, because we're wrapping up here. Where can you find us? You can find us at. You can see me in the corner. Let me point down there, right about there. There, down there.
Word is saying no.
What are you trying to point at?
I'm pointing at the Zephyr Glaze down there.
It's on your top right, up right.
Sorry. I'm seeing on my camera. Is that up here? Oh, it's up here.
Yep, there it is.
Sorry. On my camera, it's down there.
Yeah.
But it's up here. Okay, sorry. Zephyr Glaze up here.
Yeah, it's up there.
And then you can find Word, whose name is not on his screen, but you can find him at twitch.tv/wordwordus.
It is.
And Eesa,
it's right
where
there.
can we find you? Twitch.tv/
Easer's EESERZ.
And until, let's see, next, we'll figure out the exact day and we'll announce it, but it'll be like fourth or last Thursday or Friday. But until then, we'll see you out on those Twitch channels, and keep on stepping, maniacs.
Yeah.
Bye.
Eesa.